extremely classified document dealing with religion, and it's about that thick. Period. But why would there be any classified material dealing with religion?
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say it.
Oh, come on, that's so weird. That's a lot.
I'm not asking you to say what you believe to be a fact. I'm asking you to say what you read in a report that that is distributed at what may be the most top secret facility in the world. Okay. All right.
All right, I'll say it. It's so far out.
All right. Your objection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of?
Containers. Maybe containers of souls. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers. And that's how we're mentioned in the documents. That religion was specifically created so we have some rules and regulations for the sole purpose of not damaging the containers.
The souls? Meaning,
well, the souls or the bodies, whatever. Right? That's
meaning like we're containers for souls that they're going to use at some other point.
Right.
And that they had something to do with different prophets and biblical figures.
Yes.
What?
Well, that supposedly Jesus and two other beings were genetically engineered. They were implanted in people on Earth in biblical times, and their births were closely monitored. Now, just some little connections to that my wife had brought up were in the Bible. They said that the star had followed Mary wherever she went, and that all UFO sightings always start out as people, well, gee, that looks like a bright star, and well, in fact, they said in the Bible, the brightest star in the sky followed her where she went, and just make little connections like that.
Okay.
I don't know what else to touch on.
This is Dr. Omega Level Black Classification. The DOER. Lab Report AB071191. Date, November 7th, 1991. Now there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just gonna get into it. This is a classified briefing for containers. Now you have to understand, we still have a very crude overview of what exactly it is these creatures, aliens, interdimensional beings, what they are doing with what we know it to be a soul. Now, observational and sensor data suggests the human form functions as a resonant containment vessel for an unknown energy. This energy appears to interact with neural structures and bioelectric systems, producing measurable anomalies in EM, thermal, and gravitational fields. This is beyond anything science has come close to explaining about the human soul or form or purpose. It's we just have to keep going. Two, we have core components. There's a cranial resonance, penial coupling, primary phase alignment point. It's almost like think of it as a fuel tunnel, almost like a particle accelerator on a more organic level. It's completely, think of it almost like oscillatory energy systems or quantum resonant tunneling. Air comes in, goes out, creates energy. But the soul is an underlying component that we don't fully understand what they're doing or how. Yet we have many theories that are in work, but so far they're pretty scattered. We have for some time now known of structures that are hidden from regular people during the day. You know, anyone that can't go into space, essentially, or that doesn't have certain technology. These structures seem to have a biofield interference of some kind, and non-physical biohuman signatures around them, which means that there are vessels coming in and out, which is very disconcerting. There seems to be a transmission vector with an unknown receiver. We can tell that they're transmitting, but we don't know to where. The signal is persistent even with object not visible, so we have no idea how far away this thing is. Possible machine ecology, definitely non-terrestrial as far as I'm concerned. We've advised everyone at this point, after the incident with one of our pilots, to not approach the structure under any circumstances. There are many radiation anomalies surrounding the entire area. However, this is not the only structure of this kind. We have recently discovered another, which seems to be in construction. It seems to be of different construction style, but similar to the previously discussed. It is not any kind of government. We have already checked with pretty much any government official that would talk to us from other countries and nations, and they deny any and all involvement with this, which I believe. I don't think that we have the technology anywhere to make this. This object has been classified as AZ-013. It has an energy modulation layer, an unknown receiver, and an extra-dimensional vector. The extra-dimensional vector was not picked up on the previous structure, but we're not sure if that's because it's completed and they were able to somehow mask this using something that's not on this one yet. But we are currently undergoing many investigations into this second structure. But we do believe that these structures are being used to somehow collect the energy of human beings' souls, or what we know to be the soul. What this says about religion and life after death is very alarming, and this is why it is Omega level black. We cannot allow this to be leaked under any circumstances. Our satellites in the area have observed much traffic coming in and out of both of these areas, which leads us to believe that there is some kind of large-scale operation currently undergoing. This was not the case several years ago. We knew of the structures, but there was not hardly any. Well, we knew of one structure, but there was hardly any traffic in or out. And that seems to have completely changed in the recent weeks. This is in Orbital Interaction Report of Object Designation ECA-7 Forward Delta. Object type, Energy Collection Array. Location, Orbital Sector. Coordinates. Operators. Clearance Omega Black. Observational report. Multiple attempts at proximity data acquisition resulted in total loss of all assets, including our pilot's life, we presume. No debris field recovered, no trace of agents. Status, all missions ended without warning. It's almost as if they were vaporized or possibly sent to another location. As you can see here with the photo attached, there was a large, blinding flash of light, which is the last thing that our satellites were able to pick up before we lost contact with our pilots. Every agent attempting proximity vanished without a trace. Possible vaporation or displacement to alternate location. It seems to have energy collection arrays and a containment field, which is keeping anything from getting close. Like we said, we're not sure if they're being destroyed or if they're being relocated. The field strength exceeds containment thresholds, so somehow they've created some kind of bubble that exists outside of space-time as we know it. The technology is incredible. Our recommendation at this point is to cease all proximity operations. To do with the loss of material and life, further operations are not feasible. We have made contact over the years with the entities that many people have come to know as the Greys. They are small in stature, large head, very prominent in science fiction. So most people are familiar with them. These other creatures, however, are something completely different. In the scariest kind of way. They seem to be beings of pure light or energy. Pretty much how angels were described in biblical texts, which leads us to believe that they might possibly be the angels that were once spoken of in these teachings. Now, whether or not their presence is benevolent or malevolent remains to be seen, but all indicators for me personally seem to point to a more ominous agenda. Observations of these angelic type entities have been observed during the vessel encounters, exhibiting luminous, coherent energy fields and engage in non-verbal communications. Morphology, humanoid in stature, variable in appearance, age, and sex. It's usually very hard to tell. Often described as beings of light. 2, we have a comparative mythology. Cross-cultural analysis indicates consistent descriptions of angels across Arabic and esoteric traditions. Radiant appearance, messengers or watchers, ocular or sensory overload upon presence. Almost like being in the presence of an electrical charge. Association with knowledge and judgment. They seem to know a lot and seem to judge people based on their actions. In the energy field analysis, the entities generate a coherent self-luminous field, not electromagnetic in nature. A possible interaction with higher dimensional substrata.